Okay, so here's the backyard. We kind of gave up a lot of space in the backyard for a deck and a garden. So we have very little green grass growing, and that's just for the dogs to do their business. But I'll run y'all through the garden real quick, and then we'll take you to the chicken coop. So we have all of these beds throughout the backyard, and we've set them up. Also, we plant this in the square foot garden method. We just don't use the grids on there. That bed has a bunch of basil. We've got some
Kale. Portuguese kale.
hang on. This is collards. They're all still kind of baby plants. We have some dill that's growing. Let's see if we can zoom into that. And I planted that dill maybe 3 months ago, so it takes its sweet time. This bed's gonna be all kale. It'll be this kind of kale. We still have some leftover plants. It's called Toscano dinosaur kale, Lacinto kale.
Can I show them?
It's got several names.
How big a leaf is?
The bed needs to be cleaned. There's weeds in the bed, but we have it's going to be a whole bed of kale here. So these two little trees right here are pomegranate trees. So they're still babies, haven't given us any pomegranates. We have tangerine tree of some sorts. It might be satsuma or something. In the corner here, this bed here is going to be carrots and spinach, and I think most of the spinach died, so we'll probably try something else in that space. If you notice, there's a lot of eggshells in here. We're kind of trying to put all the calcium back in the soil to feed all these plants. The brassicas, like the kales, the broccolis, and cabbage, are very heavy feeders, and you can actually get more calcium from kale than you can from a glass of milk, as my understanding. I haven't done the comparison. This bed here is going to be all broccoli. That's also inundated with weeds. We need to clean that bed out. And papaya tree, and down there's another papaya tree. Here is an empty bed. We got to clean it up and plant it for the winter. This bed's another bed that needs to be cleaned up and planted for the winter. And then we've got a whole other bed full of broccoli. 2 empty beds down here this will be our lettuce bed, and it has 2 big mushrooms growing. We haven't destroyed them or taken them out yet either. And here we have part of our experimentation on growing our own fodder for the chickens. So it should essentially look like this. We just cut this stuff out with scissors or dig it out with the little shovel, and we feed it to the chickens, and they really love it. Here's another big Meyer lemon tree that we're growing in the backyard. This will be a nice persimmon tree at some point. Hopefully it's a baby. And we have something called a Barbados cherry tree here, and then another guava tree. So we got a lot going on in the backyard. The back fence looking stuff, it's actual cattle paneling. Our fence is the big brown fence in the back, and in front of it we put up these panels so that we can grow all kinds of peas, beans, cucumbers, and essentially it's just a big green wall all around when the plants get going. But since we're kind of in between seasons, everything's still sprouting and trying to get going, we don't have anything now. So now we have a really mouthy chicken over here, so we'll start with the chickens. I'll scoot back to show you what the cage, the whole coop looks like. Okay. So it's a pretty big shed looking structure that we built this summer, right in the hottest time of the summer. So it was a struggle to get it done. So we've given the chickens their little run, is what this is called, this space. And like I said, we do have one loud chicken. And I think it's KFC, the Colonel. Where is she?
Let me grab it.
What are you doing?
Grab the chicken.
Okay.
I gave
All right. So this is the Colonel.
KFC.
She's a little loud. She's the only one that makes all the noise. Okay, you can put her down here.
Canes? That's Canes.
So, hang on. One of them's Canes
Raising Canes.
for raising Cane. That's this one. She's got a dirty little beak. And who else?
Popeyes.
Popeyes. This is Popeyes. Next one. And Church's chicken. Right here. This is Church's. Say hello, Church's. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to feed the chickens their little snack. Go get the stuff.
You forgot about...
Who?
You forgot about Frenchie's.
Oh, we got Frenchie's chicken over here.
Frenchie.
That's Frenchie's running there. We can't grab her. So what we typically do is we have all that kale that's growing in the front yard, and as you can see, the chickens are super excited. They love this stuff. So we just hang it off of these little ropes over here. Hang them on the ropes, guys. And the chickens just love their kale. They love to eat their greens. Like I said, it has a lot of calcium, which they need to make the shells of the eggs. We've been averaging maybe 2 to 3 eggs at the most right now. They're not all laying. They're all, I think, still adolescent chickens of some sorts. I forget what they're called. So the system we have set up for the chickens is we give them oyster shell in that little tube right here where we fill it up here, and as they eat it, it just comes down on its own. We have 3 tubes, this one here
Cut it off. Get scissors.
with the actual chicken feed, and then there's 2 more over here. Can you step aside for a second, Mijito? There's 2 more here. And then we have the water containers for them. These 2, this U-shaped tube here is filled with water. Okay. And then this is the stairs that they don't use to get up to their house, to the little coop. This is the entrance with their door. We shut it at night just to have a little more security for them. We have some ventilation so that they can get a cross breeze and doesn't stink up in their coop. I had put some shelving so that we can have some nice things, but when you have kids and you have animals, you just can't have nice things. So there's the apparently anything that's a flat surface becomes
There's
poop. They just poop on anything that's a flat surface. So I'm going to take those shelves out and put in some bars. I wanted to get a video of the coop now because it'll show all the different types of little mistakes that we had, simply because we've never had chickens before, and it's kind of a trial by error thing sometimes, and that's the process we're undergoing. So it's not easy to just have some chickens. You're learning new things about them every day. Okay, so the rest of the coop here, and you have to ignore our mess, is a shelving system at the bottom. And like I said, the chickens love to make a mess. And we fill a bunch of Home Depot buckets full of food.
Dad, do I give them
And this
scratch?
is their coop where they sleep at night in the little roost bars. And then those are not real eggs. These are fake eggs. I know it's exciting to see them, but these eggs encourage the chickens to lay their eggs next to another egg. It actually has been working. They've started to lay eggs once we put those in there. We put some linoleum flooring around so that when it's time to clean this coop, everything just slides off and we can wash it out. So that's it. And so this is their hen box, or the laying box. Let me scoot back so y'all can see that. And then this is where we collect the eggs from. And then I built a little closet here on the side. Go ahead and open it. You can leave that open. And there's Santino. And that's where we keep our bikes. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us again for our chicken coop. And oh, Mauricio's giving them scratch, which is their second favorite thing. And just throw some. That's enough, Mijo. And they just like to scratch around. I'll give you an idea of why we have the setup that we do. This is not actually dirt. This is all compost right here. It goes down about 1.5 feet. I dug out 1.5 feet of dirt from the ground, so it's pretty deep. And it used to look this color. It was wood shavings. And with all the poop and with kitchen scraps, we come and just dump them in here, and they eat what they want and they ignore the rest, and it just kind of decomposes and becomes its own dirt eventually. So in the span of 4 months, they've turned this whole area into really good compost. Probably even too strong compost. Okay, thanks for joining us, guys. You have a good day.